Well, I hope everybody's having a pretty good day. It's been busy for me. I have been out of town. Fly fishing is kind of what I do. I write stories about fly fishing, and then I tie flies, and I have a YouTube channel for fly fishing, and that's kind of how this thing kind of started. So anyhow, and that's kind of what the goal of my homestead is. Like you guys have heard, I'm sure if you're new, my goal is I'm trying to establish natural raised, no chemicals, no fertilizers, no pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, nothing like that applied to any of the products on our property. And the feed that we raise for our animals or the food that we eat for ourselves, we're trying to do this all natural. I can't say it's organic because we live by other farmers and they spray every dang thing that there is, so we're gonna of course get some of that, but I'm trying to protect our property where we don't. As you've seen in our other videos, I've planted cane all the way around our property that works as a real good wind block, and it catches a lot of that stuff and keeps it off the property. I've planted a bunch of different polyculture, I guess is what you call it, random seeds of different kinds of plants that help improve the soil and get rid of the toxins in the soil as well. So anyhow, with that said, we're trying to raise fly tying material. We're raising turkeys, guineas, we have some rabbits, sheep with their wool, peacocks, we're getting into pheasants this year, some different quail, a little bit of anything, all the different feathers and stuff. And then we got some fancy roosters, like the fancy hackle, and we're going to have them as well. So hopefully by next year we'll have like an all organic line of fly tying material that are not organic but natural. Everything they've ate will be chemical free. They won't be chemically treated. Everything will be natural. And I think when we're licking our fingers, touching feathers and touching, you know, the feathers all day and everything like that, I think it's cool to know they didn't have any chemicals in them. And I think that's how we should try to strive in everything we do in life. So that's what we're at. Anyhow, the last video I sat out here and I got some actual like text messages, some emails from multiple people that they enjoyed my sitting out here at my pond, having a pond talk, I guess you would say. So I'm going to do that tonight on the video and kind of show you guys some of what's been going on. In my last video, I was kind of in a rant, pouting, had a lot of crap not figured out in just one of those days. And so today I want to focus a little bit different. I don't want to be negative. There's bad days, and I had one the other day. And on that note, I still don't have my pickup fixed. I've got everything replaced all the way down to the fuel pump, and I'm not getting any fuel, and I'm sure it's the fuel pump in that old pickup. They don't have one, so I think it'll be here tomorrow in the morning, so I'm going to go pick it up, and hopefully I can get the pickup put together this weekend, and that's what the problem is. If not, we're going to keep trying, and we'll figure it out. But anyhow, I want to talk about kind of the goals of what we're doing. You guys know that I'm trying to build self-sufficient homestead as much as I can. I want to stay healthy and active and be outside doing things. That's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to establish possibly a little bit of an income. I had put money away to retire, and yeah, it didn't go near as far as I wanted it to. And I want to have a little bit more of an income than what we have. It's a little tighter than I'd like it to be with what we're doing. So I got some neat ideas and some things we're going to work on, and that's where this is all at. So this last week I have had this in my mind for a while, but we're starting to lay things out, and I'm going to build a little 6-hole RV park out here on the south side of my pond. There's really nothing around here, and I know there's like websites like Boondockers, and there's another one, I don't remember the name of it, that, you know, people like go to different farms and stuff and whatever and stay. And I thought, you know what, that'd be neat. So I'm gonna get all that stuff done, and we're gonna pipe in a large septic system so we can have a dump tank. Gosh, I got a bug on my lip that bit me. But we're gonna have a dump station, where we can have RVs can come in and have a place to dump their tanks if they've been on the road and haven't. We're gonna have full hookups, water, electric, and sewer. So it'll be pretty neat. And you know, we live in a really neat location. One of the biggest astrology watch centers is like an hour south of us. We're in like a blackout side. So like where we're putting this, literally at nighttime, there's no lights. There's no street lights whatsoever. The closest lights are in Texas. There's some windmills about 30 miles away, and you can see the flashing red lights of the windmills, but nothing directly above. So like people who are into stargazing, it'll be neat. We'll have the pond so people who are into fishing can come out here and see the pond. People who want to see animals and stuff like that. And excuse me. And then I'm going to build like a little farm stand, I'm not something I'm going to work. I'm going to put like a money box out there, like a security camera, so keep people honest. Which down here we're pretty good people. Our little town doesn't even have rent houses. Everybody that lives here belongs here, so it'll do fine. But I'm going to do that, and some of the produce we sell and I'll have a little refrigerator out there, and I'm going to probably get licensed where I can get some of my meat USD inspected, and we can, you know, sell our meat right from the farm and stuff like that. So we're working on that. And then I've been helping a buddy. I got a buddy he's living the dream. He's doing kind of the same thing that I'm doing, not self-sufficient homestead, but he's poly farming, all natural farming for hay. They raise a bunch of goats and stuff, and he wants to do it all natural. He read the same book I have. If you haven't read, Gabe Brown wrote a book called Dirt to Soil. Don't know the guy, I get nothing for saying this, but the dude's a wizard, and he's really built a heck of a system. Very similar to like Joe Salatin, both of them guys. You ever get any chance to watch anything they do or read their a wealth of knowledge on this system. But yeah, I went and helped him, and I have never really been a farmer. Like, all this is kind of as big as this went. I've never done farming and hay and all that kind of stuff. I always poured concrete and, you know, went and did construction work. So this is kind of neat to get to go do that. And I helped him go out there, and he baled a bunch of hay, and I helped stack it in rows for him. So anyhow, you see, I was riding around his little tractor, and I did that for a couple of days, and in lieu, he gave me some hay, and it's some really good hay. I mean, it's poly farmed. It's, you know, a total different kind of hay. I'll show you guys. So here is the hay that I kind of worked and traded with, and it's pretty awesome for what we're trying to do. I don't want to bring just any hay onto our property, so this is really cool. It is from a poly field, so what that means is the guy's doing the same kind of stuff that I'm doing, just on a larger scale. There's, I think, 7 different kinds of plants in here. There's some kind of wheat, I don't remember the name of it. There's buckwheat, there's rye, there is vetch, some clover, I don't remember. There's a whole bunch of different stuff in here, and it should have like 18 to 20% protein. He sent the test off to get it done. We don't know that for sure yet, but that's what it should be for what they are. So here's got 5 round bales. So that'll get us kind of going through the first part of winter, and then he's got another crop he's growing with another assortment of plants, and we're going to get 5 more of them, which will be way more than we need for the little operation we're trying to do. I'm going to try to add more sheep into our process, but little by little as we do, that should get us through winter without any problems. As much area as we have, they're really struggling keeping it ate down, so that's going to be awesome. And it's all natural. He's used no fertilizers, he's used no pesticides or herbicides. It is 100% natural, same thing we're trying to do, so really excited to have that. So now I'm bringing in quite a bit of feed, and you guys seen I've got that many, and he's planting another crop. We're going to get some more, and there's no chemicals added to it, so I'm feeding my animals all natural. I know, I've watched him do this and visit with him all the way. It's pretty exciting. I tell him every day I'm kind of living through him. But the community, if you guys are doing this kind of stuff, you can't do it alone. I was a crazy prepper about 20 years ago, like crazy. Like, I mean, I was the most prepared guy you'd ever meet in your life, and I thought I could do it all by myself, and I probably could have. But now it's like, I want community. Like, I want to, you know, like the RV park. I'm thinking that when I get that done and have a little food stand, and I want to put bathrooms and like a laundry room thing. But I thought once I get all that built, maybe once a month we'll do like a farmers trade days market, like a little flea market for farmers, you know, stuff they've got, and, you know, barter and trade kind of deal. Very limited, like, you know, people like homesteaders, give them a place to sell their stuff, interact with people, maybe have a big dinner or something like that. I think that'd be really neat. But it's cool to have community, like a person who's like-minded, because you can learn from them. I've learned so much from my buddy on what he's doing that I've implemented a lot of it here, and vice versa. You know, we talk back and forth and share ideas, and, you know, my ground is really hard here in the places we haven't been working, so he got me onto the radishes, I think they're called dicam radishes or whatever, and they got a great big long taproot, and I've planted them all over the place, and they'll dig a big long taproot. The animals will graze the tops off, the bottoms will rot, and they'll store nitrogen, so next year they release tons of nitrogen, and they aerate the soil. So this compacted soil that's not been worked forever, it'll fix it all up. So I'm really excited about that. I think it'll be neat. And And, you know, getting to go out and hang out when we do this homestead, you know, I'm not around anybody unless I'm fishing. I did leave this week fishing. I do a thing where we take veterans and law enforcement who've been through high stress situations. We take them fly fishing and we get them cabin and guides and we feed them and stuff like that. And that's why I was gone a few days, is I was out with a group doing that. And now I'm home, so it's been trying to get caught up and get life back together. But community is great, you know, even like my fishing deal. It's nice because you're here all the time. You don't interact with anybody and get to go be a part of something and help people and have people help you back and be able to barter and trade. And I always think it's cool when you can do stuff where money doesn't switch hands. So it's been really nice, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So anyhow, not trying to rant and rave, but that's what I've been up to. I'll show you guys. I got my garden in 75%. I'll finish the rest of it tomorrow, but we've got most of it in, and it looks really well. I'll show you guys. I'm out here in our garden area, and I'm pretty excited about it. I've been telling you guys I haven't been able to get it done, and we finally got out here. We don't have it done, but we've got our tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, squash, watermelons, cantaloupes. We're gonna put in peas, green beans, and okra, and then we planted a huge spot for our corn by our solar panels. I'll show you guys that in a second. So with our tomatoes every year, we had a problem with rabbits before, so we did this, but we've fenced it to where they can't come in here now. I got these great big pipes. My father-in-law got them somewhere. I mean, they're like 8-inch, big old thick, heavy-duty PVC pipes, and we just stick our tomatoes down in them. And in the wintertime, it helps keep them from frosting when you plant early. It also keeps the wind from causing problems, keeps rabbits from causing problems, and they grow out real big and bushy, and then we put our cages around them, and it works really well for us. So we ended up getting tomatoes. I don't remember all the varieties, but there's over 20 tomato plants, which will be plenty for us and for everybody that we want to help and share with. And here's our peppers. We got them, and they're all up and doing good. Actually got flowers and little bitty peppers starting, and the same with tomatoes. We got little tomatoes going. And we have not weeded our garden yet. We planted some stuff and we have not weeded it. So doing what we're doing any other time of the year, we'd had to come out here, till it, and just have all kinds of issues getting weeds and stuff down. But we've chose to do this heavy mulching system, and with this heavy mulching system that we're doing, the weeds are pretty well non-existent. I'll come out here tomorrow and pull weeds and hoe for, I bet, a half an hour, maybe an hour max, and we won't have any weeds out here. Incredible how well this has worked out, and you can see. And all we're doing is, I have thrown wood chips from some people who had show goats, so it was wood chips with goat manure and urine and all that, and we spread them for years and years and years. I say years and years, 2 years. This is our 3rd year. And then I put straw on top of that the last couple years, and this last year I put a whole bunch of straw, and I thought I had more than I had, so I ran out before I got done with it. But it's really helped keep the weeds down, and the moisture retention is unbelievable. We've had a drastic amount of rain here, and the places that we haven't worked like what we're doing with this, it's already cracking and dried up on the surface, and out here it's not. But I didn't have enough to do the whole area of my garden. We've kind of expanded it. I've hauled the wood chips in, so it's had a lot of stuff gone and done to it, but I did not have enough mulch, and it was completely weeded up, like over where that hole is. That hole is going to be my Wapani greenhouse. I'm going to build an underground greenhouse. But anyhow, this section here, it has not been mulched this year, and I wanted to plant, and it was kind of hard with the weeds, so I did till. I'm gonna, hopefully this will be the, in that whole area, half of it is sunflowers and half of it is Milo. Now it's seed sunflowers, so it's going to be our oil sunflower, black seed oil, I think is what they're called, sunflowers. So they're the kind for animal feed. So this whole little patch here is basically going to be our animal feed that we use to kind of help feed our birds and our animals through the winter, and then we aren't having to buy feed. Between helping my buddy do the hay and raising this stuff and scraps and different things that we raise, we plant it's called a winter squash, and it is May. I don't even know what the day is, May 15th, 16th, something like that, I don't know. But anyhow, whatever day in May it is, we still have some of them in our kitchen. We have a basket with them, and they're still good. They're not soft. We haven't had to, they're still good. And the pigs really like them, so we've planted a bunch of them to extend our feeding season for pigs next year. When we get pigs, we'll be able to have them to feed them longer, and it'll last a little bit longer. And they say that the different squashes and pumpkin seeds are a natural wormer. I don't know how effective or true they are, but we've done that forever and we've never had a worm problem. So I'm going to say it works. So our new pig pen has worked out really well. It went from early spring to midsummer here. Like, we're already hitting 100 degrees, and just the other day it wasn't nothing. And you can see they are in the shade, happy as can be, and so are the sheep. The sheep sit there and visit with them all the time. So having that pin where it's at is going to be really handy, not only for backing up and getting to them, but it's going to work really well for them being in the shade. A lot better spot than where they've been forever. So in the summer it's going to really work great. So when I decided that we were going to do this full-time homesteading deal and our income was going to go down drastically because I was going to pretty much lose mine, I wanted to do things to eliminate bills. Not only that, I kind of had a little bit of crazy prepper in me back in the past. Not so much anymore, now I just kind of want to be self-sufficient. But anyhow, I built a solar system. I didn't build it. This is the only thing on our property that we've had done. This is the back side of it. And you can see I keep my Argo in there and my tiller and stuff out of the way. It works kind of good. But I didn't want the sheep crawling on it, so I put a fence on the north side and the south side that's about 8 feet from it. And you can see that the shadow from the solar doesn't cover this entire area. So this was going to be wasted land, and I thought I'm just going to mow it and it'll be fine with that. The other side I planted alfalfa, and I finally thought, you know what, I'm going to till this. Again, we have not worked anything into this soil. This is virgin ground here, and you can see the difference. I mean, it is dry and bad looking. The other side is completely full of nutrients, wet, moist, holding the water in, and this is already needing water to it. I mean, it's literally night and day the difference in what we're doing here. This is 5 days from the major rain, and you can see cracks in the ground. And in the garden area where we've been mulching and mulching, in the orchard area where we've been mulching and mulching, you can literally dig all the way to your elbow with just your hands. It's that much difference. But anyhow, we're going to start working nutrients into this side and try to do what we can making this thing better. But we planted this entire area 140 foot by 6 foot in corn. So we are going to have a ridiculous amount of sweet corn. Now, when the sweet corn gets to the point that it's not going to cross-pollinate with other corn, when it gets established that far, we're going to start a second corn crop, and we are going to plant our field corn that we're going to use for feed. So with that said, we should have, between the Milo, the sunflowers, and I have a buddy that I get wheat screenings from, between all of them, mixing them with our food plus the hay we have, we're going to be way ahead of the game on feed. Hopefully I'll have enough feed for a couple years, and then I can keep doing that, and eventually my goal is to end up having 3 to 4 or 5 years of food put away. So that will be really awesome. So anyhow, that's what's been going on around here. Just busy. It's like never enough time, so, which is awesome. Keeps a guy busy, keeps a guy in shape and young, hopefully. So till the next video, we'll see you guys later. As always, please check out I'veGotBugs.com, our website, and our other YouTube. We actually have a big giveaway going on there. We're going to be giving away some fly fishing stuff, so if that's what you're into, it's I've Got Bugs Fly Fishing on YouTube. And our Facebook for both the fly fishing and the YouTube is I've Got Bugs. So please go like, share, all that kind of crap that everybody asks all the time. We appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.